Hey Lifetree, I'm really excited to bring you some inspiration today. So I wanted to tell you that October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. And October also happens to be, for those of you who don't know, the same month that my husband and I lost our first child about 6 years ago. We subsequently went on to have 2 rainbow children, but October is a very special month for us, just in remembrance. And just looking back on that time, it was a very dark and sad time. And one of the things that got us through was that we were part of a loss group that we would attend every month through the hospital that we had our children. And I had also worked with a nurse very closely who had helped us with bereavement. And you know, today I just had this incredible, almost out-of-body experience of it just so happens of now as a chaplain, working at that same hospital 6 years later, being able to help plan the service that my husband and I and our children have faithfully attended every year. And it's just another example of God's faithfulness and how He can redeem so many situations, that He would put, me back in that situation of really a time of sadness, but He's made it beautiful in His own way. And it's also just amazing just to be working at the same hospital where I'm encountering the doctors and nurses that worked with us during that time and were there for us during that sad time, who were there for us during the birth of our rainbow babies. And now as a chaplain, I get to help minister to those same people. So it's really just amazing to be able to be part of that 6 years later and just see the full circle of how God works. And it just made me think of this verse from Isaiah, and I have to read the whole thing because it's just an amazing verse. And it says, "The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach the good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives, and release from darkness for the prisoners, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor and the day of vengeance to our God, to comfort all who mourn, and to provide for those who grieve in Zion, to bestow on them a crown of beauty for ashes, the oil of gladness instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. They will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord for the display of His splendor." I mean, man. And by the way, that's from Isaiah 61. Probably should have mentioned that. But a planting of the Lord for the display of His splendor sounds a little bit like glory. So, glory to God. And I hope you guys have an amazing day.